The result of the tariffs has been devastating for soybean farmers in particular. Currently, 25% of our soybeans grown in the United States goes to China. Right now, China has purchased 0 soybeans. We want to deliver the message to President Trump and his leadership team that we need trade. He's mentioned many times that he loves farmers. Right now, we need to see swift action, or we're going to lose a lot of these farmers that the president loves.
I got to farm with my dad every day. It's a way of life. It's a wonderful way of life. And it's at risk. And it shouldn't be.
The impact of Trump's tariffs is being felt in the heartland.
Soybean farmers here are now suffering economically like they haven't in decades.
Right now we are harvesting soybeans in Marengo, Illinois. My family has been farming since 1846. I'm the 5th generation. We're a grain operation. We grow corn, soybeans. I am a product of the pioneers. It's history. You don't let that go. One of the best memories that I had was just my dad teaching me how to drive a tractor. I got to farm with my dad every day. It was pretty cool. How many people could do that? It's a way of life. It's a wonderful way of life. And it's at risk, and it shouldn't be. It's total bullshit. Human lives are at stake. It's stupid. The whole thing is stupid.
I'm very proud of him. He's done a great job. He's kind. He's very caring. He cares about other people. I didn't really want him to be a farmer. When my husband got sick, he asked if he could take over the farm. He said, "Mom, give me 3 years. Just give me 3 years." So that's what we did, and it's turned into 16 years.
Harvest is usually the best time of the year. It's literally the fruits of your labor. This is the time where we as farmers get to celebrate all of our hard work and that we get paid for our year's worth of work. And unfortunately, this one has a real bitter taste to it because the money is being spent right now in Argentina and being given to billionaires. Farming is hard enough as it is, dealing with Mother Nature, but this year especially is very challenging because of the tariffs that have been put upon us. Our cost of production has increased and our markets have dropped dramatically. And this is really putting a major strain on all farmers right now.
This is breaking news. Texas farmers are sounding the alarm on this tariff war. And in more breaking news, nobody cares. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's some of you too, but as far as farmers sounding the alarm, I don't care. I have to admit, I don't care at all, because the last time Donald Trump was president, 100,000 farmers across the country lost their farms. Yeah. So overwhelmingly, farmers voted for this man again, knowing full well of his history the last time he was president. So from me to you, farmers, I don't care. I don't care how bad things get for you. I don't care if you lose your farm. I don't care if I don't care. At least I don't care to hear about it. I really don't. Because this is exactly what you voted for. And you're going to get what you voted for. You're going to get 4 more years of Donald Trump not giving a damn about farmers whatsoever. So, enjoy.
During the campaign, Trump openly talked about the tariffs, and many of these farmers cheered and supported the idea. But now many are facing the consequences. China has stopped buying American soybeans and turned to countries like Brazil and parts of Africa instead. Some farmers are also struggling with labor shortages after supporting immigration crackdowns that affected workers on farms. Now many are finding out that political decisions can have real effects on their businesses and livelihoods. Let's have a look.
Disappearing profits are making it nearly impossible for them to break even, let alone to turn a profit. One of those farmers calls the president's tariffs, quote, the ice cream on top of a cake of a perfect storm. He joins us now, Arkansas farmer Scott Brown, who attended last week's town hall. Scott, really good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about what's happening with your farm.
Well,
we've got a real disaster with this tariff deal. I mean, we produce 40% more agricultural products in this country than we can consume domestically. 1 in every 4 rows of soybeans in every field in the entire United States of America has to go abroad. China is the largest importer of soybeans in the world. They import 61% of the world's market. Last year, we sent around 12 billion, I think $14 billion worth of soybeans the year before. For the first time in 20 years, China's bought 0 soybeans and 0 new crop corn out of this country.
0?
So we went from 12 billion to 0.
Where are they buying the soybeans?
Brazil. You see, we lost 42% of our market share in the first tariff war. In Trump's first tariff war, the Chinese went to buying their soybeans from Brazil. They invested billions of dollars in Brazilian infrastructure. They have moved into Africa, and they're going to commercially farm in Africa. Since we left with USAID, they moved their Belt and Road program into Africa. So we've pretty much lost the Chinese market share. If we got 100% of the soybean business, Katie, for every country in the world except for Brazil and Argentina, we would still only have half the soybean business that China is.
Are you getting 100% of everything else?
Yeah, if we got 100% of everything else, we would still only have half the Chinese business.
Well, what are you getting right now if you're not getting China? Are you getting every other market out there?
Or probably some other countries, and the market's pretty stifled. Most of our soybeans here go to the Mississippi River. It's the closest place to market them. They're going to go downriver and go overseas somewhere at some point. Beans are about $10.28 on the board today. We're going to get 40 cents behind that as a basis because the elevators are going to want to control their hedge. It's going to cost us 50 or 60 cents in a truck to get there, so we're getting in the low 9s. In Purdue University will tell you it takes $12.03 to raise them.
Okay, so you farm soybeans. You farm 800 acres. You know, $0 coming from China. That's a problem. How are you going to pay your bills? Are you turning a profit? Are you breaking even?
I hope to break even this year. I farm so little, I farm by myself. My tractors are all paid for. They're old. They're 50 years old. My tractors were all made in the 70s. My combine was made in 1997. I cut a load of beans, put it in the truck, and haul it to the river myself. So I've got a lot less cost than most of these boys. I've got friends that farm 5,000 and 6,000 and 7,000 acres that have million.
This is why one great man said, it's not about black or white. It's the context of the person's character. And this is the character that you guys voted for. Donald Trump and his administration is causing the farmers to fail.
Right now, we're in a very dire situation. September's upon us. Harvest is starting in the deep south, and we have 0 bushels of soybeans on the books to be sold to China for this current crop that's about to come out of the field. Historically, over the last 5 years, about a third of soybean sales to China would be booked. China amounts to 25% of our total U.S. soybean crop. So that would be 8 or 9% of the whole U.S. crop would normally be on the books with China right now, and we have 0. That is alarming. The farm economy as a whole is struggling. Inflation has caused our cost of production to rise drastically on every front. Commodity prices, in particular soybeans, are down about 50% from where they were 3 years ago. And our numbers are deeply in the red. And we send this letter to President Trump because we've been talking for months about needing to have sales in place, a deal in place, a phase 2 type agreement that has purchase commitments along with a level playing field on trade with no tariffs. And we haven't had anything happen, unfortunately. And our appeal to President Trump and his administration is make soybeans a priority in any trade negotiations that are taking place. Soybeans are the #1 agriculture export to China. And in the last trade war, it was 71% of the losses that we had as American farmers. And they're critical.
America's soybean farmers are in a world of hurt. They're going to lose their farms and their livelihoods, and they did it to themselves. And now they are begging, pleading, oh, help us. We punished ourselves because we thought Donald Trump was only going to hurt the right people, not us. We thought Donald Trump was going to hurt women and black people and Latinos and immigrants and the homeless and LGBTQ. We never thought Donald Trump would hurt us, even though Donald Trump told us on the campaign trail that he was going to raise tariffs, even though Project 2025 explicitly lays out the tariff plan and the plan to bankrupt soybean farmers all across America so that they can buy their land for cheap. Oh, yeah. And Vice President J.D. Vance owns part of an app to help buy up the bankrupt land. Come on, get real. You were either willfully ignorant, dumb, or both, America's soybean farmers.
It was just reported that in the first quarter of this year, Minnesota had more farm bankruptcies than any other state. Our farmers have been struggling for years. And right now we have politicians in Washington that are only making it worse. The Iran war has caused input costs for our farmers to skyrocket. Things like diesel and fertilizer are so much more expensive because of this reckless war. And that's on top of the tariffs, which have already increased input costs and eviscerated export markets. We have a congressman who has wholeheartedly supported these tariffs and voted on 3 different occasions to continue the war in Iran, despite the fact that farms are being wiped out all across Minnesota. What we need is a congressman who actually prioritizes the needs of southern Minnesota and votes to end the tariffs and end the Iran war.
Multiple different farmers across the United States are admitting that Donald Trump's tariffs are absolutely crippling them. If this continues, they're going to go bankrupt at rates we've never seen in American history. Listen to them.
Fertilizer and seed and diesel fuel, all of these things have just about tripled in price. And I'm selling my commodity for the same thing I was in the 80s. I've never seen anything like this. And it's all due to the president's tariffs.
Donald Trump, we love you. We need your help.
Oh boy, let's talk about how Trump is screwing the farmers. 500,000 soybean growers in the United States exist and are being severely impacted by this. They're having to now rely on loans to get them through the season. There are 231,000 jobs associated with soybean farming, harvesting, transportation, storage, you name it. Caleb Ragland, who's the president of the American Soybean Association, he said farmers are heading into a harvest season without a single order from China. 25% of soybean farmers' crops are usually sold to China. The prices of soybeans are down 40% because of what's happening under the Trump administration, and production costs are rising. And when I saw that farmer in, I believe, Arkansas, crying, this is a grown-ass man with gray hair. Donald Trump, we love you. We need your help. This is what MAGA doesn't get. Don't leave a seat at the table expecting Donald Trump to come sit down and talk to farmers. He will only sit at the tables that have billionaires and Project 2025 folks. He's only focused on their agenda. And the Project 2025 agenda includes changing the American farming industry that's going to fucking screw every American farmer.
Farmers are out here watching the tariffs destroy their profits, being like, he can still change. No, because I was in the economic version of texting your toxic ex, I miss us, while your bank account is still overdrafting. And look, I get it. A lot of farmers support Trump. They feel ignored by Democrats. Regulations stress them out. And culturally, they connect with him. Fair. But economically, soybean exports got hit. Equipment costs rose drastically. Fuel costs climbed. Fertilizer costs climbed. And then the government had to step in for bailout payments because the tariffs were hitting agriculture so hard. That's not winning. That's like your buddy totaling your vehicle and handing you $20 for gas. Meanwhile, the family farmer is getting squeezed while giant corporations buy more land and rake in more and more power. And somehow every election turns into, who should we blame this time? Instead of, Why are farmers constantly surviving by the skin of their Carhartts? America, land of the free, home of the subsidized emotional support tariffs.
Farmers thought they were punishing China, but only ended up hurting themselves. Some of them supported immigration crackdowns because they voted to hurt other people. But agriculture in America depends heavily on workers willing to do difficult jobs in fields and farms. When workers disappear, farmers face labor shortages. Crops do not wait. Farms do not stop needing workers just because politics changed. Now some farmers are learning that the people they wanted removed were helping keep their businesses running. This is why many people say voting should never be based on anger or hatred towards others. When people vote hoping to hurt another group, they often forget that policies can affect everyone. The economy does not care about political parties. The economy does not care about campaign promises. The economy responds to real world actions. If a country stops buying your products, you lose money. If you lose workers, your businesses struggles. And if costs go up, profits go down. MAGA voters should think carefully before supporting policies. Don't just listen to what sounds good. Don't just listen to what makes you feel good. Ask how those policies will affect your job, your income, your family, and your future. Because eventually, reality shows up, and reality shows up at the grocery store, in your bank account, when bills are due, and when your businesses start losing money. And when that happens, political slogans will not save you. The biggest lesson from this story is simple. If you vote to harm others, do not be surprised when those same policies come back and affect you too. Actions have consequences, and choices have consequences. And sometimes, the people who cheer the loudest end up paying the highest price. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.